Hello, everyone. This is Adam Parker, the founder of the Detox Blueprint program. Really excited today. We've got another client success interview with my good friend now, George. And he was able to go from really chronic fatigue and really struggling to just have energy to amazing energy and vitality. So really happy to have George join us today to tell us about his story. George, welcome.
Hi, Adam. How are you?
Doing great, man. Doing great. And it's really good to have worked with you through the process to where you are now, especially from when we first met as well. It's been a really good journey for me personally to go on with you. So let's start from the top. What's your story? Where are you from? How did we meet? Just let's start there.
Yeah. So we met back at the Health Optimization Summit, June 2024. So just over a year ago. And I was in a place of having done all the protocols for chronic fatigue syndrome. I'd done the diets, I'd done some detoxing, I'd done the nervous system regulation, the affirmations, some fasting, I'd done, you name it, I'd done it. And I'd actually put detoxing to the back of my mind because detoxing was such a tough thing for my body. My liver would be sore, my kidneys would ache, I'd feel wiped out. And it got to the point where I was thinking, when am I going to feel better from detoxing? You know, everybody promises you need to detox, you're going to feel great. It's, you know, in most fatigue protocols, it's one of the pillars of getting yourself better. And it never worked for me. It would wipe me out. I've been wiped out for 30 days with a Herxheimer reaction, you know, just what's going on. And I actually remember seeing your face on the speakers thinking, I'm not going to that. I'm done with detoxing. I'm going to go a breath guy. But my brother texted me that morning and he said, Adam looks great. Go and see him. And you walked past me. I chatted to you and you made me feel like I never detoxed in my life. It was like, well, have you cleansed the colon? Have you done your kidneys, liver, you know, opened up the pathways? And I was like, no. It was always heavy chelation therapy, lots of saunas, really tough stuff to start the body out on, especially when there's so many symptoms and, you know, chronic issues. So as soon as I met you, I wanted to start the course. I just knew it was the right thing for me. And yeah, what a journey it's been.
Well, firstly, it was lovely meeting you. I remember we were speaking by the Layla Quantum stands. You came over, said hello, we had a good chat. And that began our friendship from there. So it was a lovely conversation. Another thing that I think would be really useful is also, you know, and I think you've added knowledge to me in this area, is around, you know, connecting energetics and resonance and coherence and all of that side of things, which I think, again, we do talk about that in the program. But again, that was something that you heavily explored prior. So I'd love for you just to talk about that, because again, I think it's definitely a piece of the puzzle. But I think for me, the key is there is no just one thing. And I think bringing those two things together has really elevated you as well. So what was your experience in that area prior?
Yeah, so I had, after doing all the, you know, fatigue protocols for a few years, I was like, it's not working. I went fully into the mind-body connection and energetic work. You know, I've seen a cranial sacral osteopath, acupuncturist, had some Reiki healing, did my own meditation, went fully in on Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. I've got a lot of friends in that community that, you know how hard I worked at that. And ultimately, it got me to an amazing place. On my Instagram, there's a picture of me looking healthy and well. It's because I did so much work, mind-body connection and the energetic side of things. But I ended up relapsing. After the London retreat in 2022, I was like, I'm well, let's go. I wanted to detox the last few things in my body, what I thought was the last few things, because, you know, I'd still eat wheat or sugar and get symptoms. And I was like, I want to be free. I want to be healed. I know healing's possible. So I ended up relapsing, and it's because of all the rubbish that was in me that you've been able to get out in a really gentle, nourishing way. Even though I still believe in it massively, it didn't take me to where I wanted to be ultimately.
Well, here's the thing. I think it didn't because it drew you to this type of work. But at the same time, I know what you're saying, as in here's the thing. I don't just think the physical is the only thing either. And again, we talk about that within the program. There is an energetic element to this process and they work together. I always look at like the historic text of the body is the temple. So I think there's an element of the physical, like he'll clean the meat suit, and there's also the kind of non-tangible side of things. So yeah, it's just, and again, I love that you're highlighting that, because I think all of these things move us in the right direction. But it's great how you've been able to bring the two together, and on your journey. So I think it's been really powerful. Okay, so tell us about what symptoms you had. So what were you dealing with day to day? How was life for you before joining the program? Like, what did it look like?
Day to day, it was quite a struggle at the time that I met you. I had chronic skin infection. I think my parents had COVID, and I just wasn't bouncing back like I used to. And I also didn't have the motivation to do all the hard inner work I'd done on myself before. Another meditation, some more breath work. It was like, how many more times am I going to have to do this to, heal my body? The motivation was lacking. It was like, I need something else. My parents could see that. They were like, you need to, my dad said he'll have to pay for a doctor. And I was like, I don't think a doctor's going to change my life that much, unfortunately, because I'd seen all the doctors, every doctor you could possibly see, sports doctors, GPs, chronic fatigue specialist doctors, everyone. And I was like, I think this detox blueprint course is the one for me. It's going to actually so much. It's going to detox me, which is what I need. And so just in that, I felt super motivated to get started. I learned a lot, and yeah, it did things I was no longer motivated to try and do myself anymore. It was like, finally, something here that's going to actually bring results, and it did.
That's a beautiful story as well with your parents, because again, the faith they had in you, right? Because and I'm making generalities here, but most parents want to help us, but their playbook of how that's done can be different. It can vary, right? And sometimes we might have certain things we think are good for us, but our parents think maybe not. I don't know what the case was for you, but that you'd found this program, it resonated with you. I don't know how much they knew about it at the time, but they were like, okay, they obviously suggested doctors, but you were saying, no, actually, I think this is where I need to go. And for them to be supportive out the gate, I think that's beautiful, because I do see there can be conflict in those areas. I've seen it, not with your specific area, but I've seen it before. So it's lovely that they were like, yeah, if that's what you resonate with, then lean into it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And, my dad was happy to pay for a doctor, and I did have to convince him that wasn't the way, that we've done that route, we've gone down that road, and they haven't offered me nothing substantial. I could have another B12, injection, or take another supplement, or change my sleep, but I've done that, and that's all good, so it's like micromanaging, just, I needed to move the needle, as you would say, and wow. Move the needle.
So what was the most powerful part of the program for you? What really stood out and, made the biggest difference?
I definitely think, it all plays its part. I've gained benefits from every single module. Even though my gut was pretty good beforehand, it's now brilliant. The colon cleansing was incredible. It was life-changing. That's what, it cooled my skin down instantly, brought some vitality back to me. It helped me lose a bit of weight that I needed to lose. It gave me this energy. It also gave me this motivation to be like, this is working. And I couldn't believe how quickly it started working. I think I saw your reel before. It was like, it felt illegal. It was like, I've done 10 years of healing and nothing has moved me this quickly. So it's been quite a mental thing to overcome as well. Like, wow, that was so easy. and brought so much results where I'd worked, so hard for such little results. That was a big paradigm shift.
I remember your skin when you started, raw, red. You'd come on the Q&As and I'd be like, you're doing great, keep going. You were coming with such enthusiasm. And then I just started to see the transformation. It was lovely to see the unfoldment where your skin was glowing and you were just, I felt like the belief gave you a really solid momentum. It was like as though you're like, wow, this has happened so quickly. And it just, that kind of dialed up your kind of eagerness to just be all in on the process.
Absolutely. Yeah. The results spoke for themselves, and it was like, because so many times I've done things where I believe in it, I'm going to do it, but then it's hard, and it's like I rely on my belief, but there's no result. It's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym for a year, don't see results, like naturally you're just going to pull back a little bit. It's like, this again. Whereas this was the complete opposite. This was just, let's go. Let's absolutely do this. Just going back to what shifted the most, I think both the colon cleansing and the liver flushing. The liver flushing is a game changer. I've only done 6 and changed so much already.
Yeah, it's crazy. I definitely within like your first 10, it's like it's another analogy with the gym. It's like newbie gains, right? So you never gone to the gym and you work out, you'll just build muscle very quickly. Within the first 10 flushes, you just see insane results, like bang, 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 things change. So that's great. And again, I could see, you were committed week on week in the Q&A, and I could just see, just as you went through each layer, the improvements were, again, it was just the unraveling, and it was very profound with you, just seeing the changes coming in slowly and noticing, you would always give feedback on, I can do this now, and this is a lot easier. And, so it was a great dialogue. You were very good at describing the journey as you were going through of what was changing in you.
Yeah, and things are still changing, things are still happening, and I'm so excited to keep going with it because you've taught skills for life, which is just valuable.
And here's the thing, health is a moving target. Like you can either be reactive with your health or you can be proactive. So I'm always proactive with my health. So I'm doing things all the time, building up my vitality, keeping my body balance. I don't want people to leave the program with, I'm good, and I'll go back to my life. That's not really how it. No. When people go through a process and a transformation like this, they can't just go back. They learn stuff, and they're like, okay, I'm just going to keep going, and they pick and choose what they want to do. But really, it's about giving skill sets, and then you've got these tools, and if you choose to do them or not. I mean, so for me, I'm always in a proactive stance with what I do. And that's what I try and install with everyone who comes. So I love it that you're saying, and I'm continuing this process because that's where the magic is.
Yeah, absolutely. And that definitely comes across in the group and the Q&As and the videos. And also what I like about you, Adam, is you share so much more than just in the videos. If somebody's got an issue, it's like, I interviewed this guy last week. Have a look at this. There's always something there. There's always an answer to go and explore, which is something I also haven't had on my journey, which is also, I want to touch on this because I think this is really important. It's given me a lot of security. It's been like, I feel like this day, I've got my enema next week. I've got my liver flush. I've got another protocol to come. Whereas before it would be like, I feel like this now. Oh no, where am I going to go? Okay, I'll just go and meditate, calm everything down, and there not being that security with it, which has just been invaluable on this journey, truly.
That's lovely, man. Yeah, and I've tried to create a community where, because I look back at like my experience, and I was lonely. I didn't know what to do. Didn't have anyone I could really talk about what was going on too much, because I kind of didn't want people to know, because you don't want to be the guy who's always complaining about his health, right? So really, I created a community where everyone can chit chat, and also I didn't have a roadmap either. So again, I love that perspective. It gives you kind of solace of, okay, there's a process. And because here's the deal, this will happen, but the reality, it's kind of like this, right? But you're moving in that direction. So we're going to have the odd down day naturally, but actually when you're like, but here's the roadmap, I keep going. I think that's really powerful. And also, I mean, the gift of really what I do and having the podcast as long form content, I interview some amazing people and I incorporate that stuff into the program. I remember when we had Philip from Layla Quantum, and he was talking about quantum upgrade, and I remember at the time, everyone just jumped in on trying quantum upgrade. And it's a great tool. I use it myself. But again, it's like that. You wouldn't call that detox. It's not. It's about health and vitality, but nothing's isolated, and I would like to think it's not just a detox program. It's how to be healthy in 2025. So I remember everyone getting really excited about it in the community and trying it, because obviously I was able to get everyone a free 15-day trial, all my listeners, not just the community. So again, it's great because that introduces concepts that all help in the right direction. So it's lovely that came up for you.
Absolutely. And so not only is there the standard things that you already know, but you've been learning while I've been learning. So you brought in the essential energy pendant, and the EMF game changed straight away. So, and that's helped me. And it's also exciting to see where it's also, it's going to go from there too.
So how's your life changed and transformed since joining the program and getting the results?
Yeah, so my life has changed massively. I have more energy. I have more vitality. My thoughts are clearer. I sleep better. I'm more motivated and inspired naturally because I've been getting results that I haven't had before. I'm excited to share this information too because I want to help people like yourself. Also, what's so beautiful is my friends, family, my girlfriend can see such a big change. Every week, my girlfriend will text me saying, "Oh, I'm so pleased you're doing so much." She's from Mexico City, so I'm going to see her soon. So we'll be able to do more too. So whereas before it was such a limited, I can't do that, I can't eat that, I can't do this, I can't do that. And I'd have to plan. And when I first met you, you said, "Oh, you've become amazing at managing things." And it hit me in my heart because I was like, I've done so much to help to heal, but ultimately you were right. And now it's like the rubbish is left and is leaving. And the other thing is my meditations have gone to another level. My sleep's gone to another level. All the other stuff I was doing beforehand has gone to another level. I like the analogy where, you can't plant lovely plants and flowers in a garden full of weeds. And it's like, that's what I was doing all the time. And it was this uphill battle and struggle to do all the good stuff. The bad stuff's been removed and it's just flowed so nicely. So yeah, loving life.
Amazing, man. I tell you what was a highlight for me. I did a post. I can't remember what the post was. And I got this comment. And the comment was like, "You've really helped my son. I'm so happy. Thank you." And I was like, who's this person? Because I couldn't connect it. And then I had no idea, but it's lovely. And then we got chatting and it turned out it was your mother. That for me is so powerful because, my son has just turned 2 and now I understand, when my parents would just be like, "You won't know until you're a parent." And now I am a parent. I understand like the unconditional love you have for your child. So that hit me because it's like to have your mother proactively reached out to comment. That was beautiful, man. That was a moment for me.
Yeah, that was a moment for me as well. And reading that, I loved it. And I just thought, Adam isn't going to know who that is. So I couldn't wait to tell you. And they've all seen such a big difference. My brother just said, texted me yesterday saying, you're a completely different person now, mate. And it's true. And they've seen not only how hard the journey's been for me, and it's been super dark at times, but also how much work I've put in to get myself better. Like it's been a constant, there are answers. I believe in healing, And so to finally come after a 10-year journey and find this has just been transformational for me, but also for my family. The weight's off them. They don't have to worry about me as much. They're more free. They're more relaxed. They can enjoy themselves more. We went on a beautiful family holiday at the beginning of May for 2 weeks. I've not been abroad with them for 10 years. And you've truly given me that. It's just been huge.
So looking back, where do you think you'd be today if you hadn't have tapped in and gone with working with me? Or maybe we'd never even met at the Health Optimization Summit. Just say you never went on this journey. Where do you think you'd be now?
Yeah, so I think I would still be playing from the same playbook that I was before, meditating a lot, doing breath work a lot, managing my energy, my diet, my life. And I think I would be very unmotivated because it would be like, this hasn't brought the results I always believed it would. So I don't really want to think about it.
Don't go into that vibration. Yeah.
But ultimately, I wouldn't be in such a good place that I am now because I've kept all the knowledge before, and this has just added to it. And ultimately, just let the brakes go, and I've been able to accelerate in everything. So yeah, I think it would be a very limited existence still. I would still be searching. I'd be confused. I think there would just be this underlying, man, this didn't work out as I thought it would.
Well, as you said, man, I think your prior work, all of it plays into where you are now. So all of that work, it's all part of your story. I look at my story, all the things I tried before I found this kind of this methodology is part of my story. And what I love is hopefully, people who may be going through a similar experience that may have lost hope, that maybe that there can be a little, not necessarily having, work in my program, more the fact that there is a way out, right? It's not like this is my lot, because that's the worst thing if you kind of resign to this is it. And it's more prevalent today than ever. So it's a lovely story, man, like a 10-year journey for you, and you were able to piece everything together and get into that vibration that you were searching for. So that's powerful. So if someone was watching this on YouTube and they're still unsure about booking a call, having a conversation with our head coach, what would you say to them?
I would say book a call. It's not about sales for you guys. It's about helping people. That's what I really get from you. I remember when I started, it was you doing the call. You were already offering me advice that I could go away from, without even needing to pay anything. So I'd book the call. I would do some research, obviously, on everything you got, and I would go for it, really. There's nothing else to say, because you're not only offering advice in the 4 months and the 6 months that you help people, you're also giving life skills, which can help family and friends too. So you're not only helping yourself, you're helping the people around you, and getting results is pretty fun, I have to say.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning in. And thank you to George for letting me interview you and telling us your story. If you're watching this right now and you're interested in working with us and learning how to detoxify your body, and maybe you're just curious about the process of detox, then book a call by clicking the link provided below in the video. On the call, we're going to discuss a couple of things. Firstly, figure out what is your goal? What is your health goal? Secondly, what's holding you back from getting to that health goal? And thirdly, getting clear on that goal and whether me and my team can help with that. So book the call now before the calendar gets filled up, and we look forward to chatting with you guys. Thanks again to George. Thanks again for you guys for watching. Take care, and we'll speak soon.